Guys, my name is Ankush Gaurav and I welcome you to gontuseries. In this series of video tutorials, we're gonna learn everything about Maven. I would start with the very basic concepts of Maven and will gradually take you through all its advanced level concepts with hands-on sessions step by step. So let's start. Maven is a build automation tool used by developers all over the world to automate some important tasks in a Java-based project, like compilation of Java source code, packaging of code into jars or vars, running test cases, generating project documentation, generating project reports, along with many other important features which I would cover later. In the subsequent tutorials, I would cover in detail how to use Maven along with all related concepts with hands-on sessions. For now, let's try to understand what makes Maven so special and so popular that almost every developer these days is learning and using it in their Java-based projects more than any other available build automation tools in IT industry, like Ant tool. Guys, one of the major problems in IT industry is there is no uniform way to manage software projects around the globe. What it means is each project would have its own directory layout. Common tasks like compilation of Java source code, packaging of code into jars or vars, running test cases, etc. are handled differently in different projects. So the problem here is very simple. When a developer moves from one project to another, he will have to understand everything from scratch in the new environment, like understanding directory layout, how to compile and package code into jars or vars, along with many other similar tasks. Certain tasks, like including a new properties file onto the project's class path, would be like a nightmare for him till the time he fully understands the new environment. In short, a new member in the project would always take more time to get comfortable with the environment, which would definitely hamper his performance or productivity, at least for some initial days of his time in the project. Now Maven solves this problem by giving an excellent approach called as convention over configuration. It says if all projects follow same conventions or rules, like exact similar directory layout, fixed way of compilation of Java source code, fixed way of packaging of code into jars or vars, fixed way of running test cases, fixed way of including a resource like a properties file onto the project's class path, etc., then there won't be such a problem. The idea of Maven is very clear. It says all developers working in a Maven-based project should follow certain important conventions, as you are seeing on the screen, which I'm going to explain in detail in the subsequent tutorials. So it's very clear. If a developer has worked on one Maven-based project, then he can work on any other Maven-based project very easily without consuming much time in understanding all basic things about the new environment, because in advance he knows that all Maven-based projects would have exact similar directory layout, would have exact similar way of compilation of Java source code, etc. So even in the new environment, he can show up with the best of his performance or productivity. Guys, there's one more important feature of Maven which makes it so special and so popular in the developers community, and that is its capability to automate the task of handling all needed project dependencies. Let me explain what I'm really talking about here. What developers do normally if they are not using Maven in their project. Let's say the project is supposed to use some framework, say Spring Framework. Then, in order to use Spring Framework in the project, developers are required to manually download all Spring Framework related jars from internet and then manually include all of them onto the project's class path. And if by any chance any of the downloaded jars further depends on some other jar or jars, then in that case developers are required to download all those jars as well and include all of them too onto the project's class path. Guys, believe me, it's a lot of work for developers, and sometimes it's a very frustrating and a tedious job to search for all required jars on internet. Just think about some problems which developers might face while performing this task, like they are not able to find a particular library or a jar on internet which has some specific version, or the jar or library which they have just downloaded is missing some important files in it, so it's not working. It's only after developers download all correct direct and indirect dependencies of the project can be developed further. Now Maven has an excellent feature to solve this problem. It says any external dependency, a library or a set of jars which you want to use in your project, you just tell me its name by mentioning it in the configuration file provided by me in the project, and I would do the magic. I would automatically search and download all related jars for it from internet and include all of them onto the project's class path without you doing any single task for it, other than just mentioning its name in the configuration file. And for all those cases where the downloaded jars further depends on any other jar or jars, I would make sure to search and download all of them too and include all of them as well onto the project's class path. Isn't it great? Guys, in this tutorial, I did not say anything about how Maven actually works, how to kickstart a project using Maven, how Maven downloads all direct or indirect dependencies, etc. etc. In short, I just introduced Maven to you with just a short overview of it. All concepts with hands-on sections are yet to come in the subsequent tutorials. In the next tutorial, we will learn how to install and set up Maven in your computer. Guys, I thank you for learning Maven with me. If you have any feedback or comments, please provide them below the video or simply write to me on this email ID for all of your queries. Please hit the like button if you really like this video, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel gontuseries, and I'm gonna catch you in my next tutorial.